SewingGold.com, and I'm going to give you a lesson on how to use a portable blind stitch. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to thread it. So I'm going to take the thread out of here. Okay. So the easiest way for me to do it is I double the thread. We're going to go through the back here. Where's that tweezer? Okay. Grab the thread. Okay, we're going to make sure that we go. There's a piece. Jose, can you come around the other side? All right, so it's really important to get underneath this piece and then in between the discs. Okay? So it's got to go underneath that piece right there. Okay? Now, once I go through there, I've got to go back through this hole here. Okay, so now our tension is already threaded. Okay, the next step is going to go through here. Now if you have a guard on there, this may look a little different. There could be a little squirrely little thing, little wire. Okay, come on around, back around the other side. Okay, now I'm going to go through here. Okay, and now the last is through the needle. This is going to be the hardest part. You might want to open this, and then when you're going to want to make sure that the needle, remember this machine runs backwards, so we're going to make it go backwards. We're going to make sure the needle's to the farthest point to the left, then we're going to move the knee lift down so I can get my hand in here. You could also do this with a tweezer if you want, but I find it easier with my hand. Once I get it through the needle, all I do is pull it, and that's it. That's threading the machine. And you could just leave the excess off to the side. Okay, now the next thing is, when you do a blind stitch, actually I'm going to leave this open so I could show you. Sometimes people just go through the middle of the material. So you always want to do your first stitch by hand. And if you go through the middle of the material, there's no folding of the fabric. You're just folding it in half here, and you're not doing anything on the edge, which I'm going to show you next. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to lock the stitch. Locking the stitch, remember, always turning away from you. To lock the stitch, can you zoom in on this? Make sure that the needle is covering, so the point of the needle is covered by this piece right here. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the knee lift, and then I'm going to pull hard, not real hard, but to the back left. And you'll hear it snap, and now it's locked. If I took this out, it's still going to be locked. Okay? So now I'm going to also show you, the next thing I'm going to show you is how to take the stitch out if you make a mistake. Okay? First stitch by hand. Okay. So now if I make a mistake, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go forward, and this is the only time I want to go back. I'm going to go back just once. And now if you look at this, can you show this? You see that stitch there? So now if I pull this out, watch the stitch come off. So if I make that mistake, you could just take the stitch right out. Okay, now I'm going to show you quickly a method on, could you focus on the fabric? Okay, so I'm going to fold this 2 times. Now if I don't serge the edge, I sort of want to have a clean edge. So if I fold this 2 times, this is in the way. Alright, so this piece right here is my guide. Okay, so I'm going to want to rest the fabric on it. So basically what I do is I hold the fabric in front of me, not too tight, I put it up so it's resting against there. Okay, same thing, first stitch, in the fabric, and now we've got our double fold. Keep folding it. If it comes apart, you might want to iron it. Okay, I'm not going to go all the way around for this demonstration. So I'm going to lock the stitch. You take a look, that's your inside, looks very neat. And then that's your outside. You could barely see the stitch. So if I had the same color, of course I'm not going to see it. So if I want to not see this, these little things, I don't know if you could even see it on the film, I'm going to go to this dial and I'm going to turn this less, just barely, so it's picking up less, the needle's picking up less of the fabric. So barely turn it to, I'm going to a 2. The numbers don't really matter, just as long as you turn it less, just slightly, and then it's going to pick up a little less. If it doesn't pick up the stitch at all, then you know you have to go more. Okay? Lastly, I'm going to show you on, if you serge the edge, so this fabric is already serged, you only have to fold this one time to do your blind stitch instead of folding it twice. Okay, so I folded that in half. Okay. Same thing, I'm going to use my guide here. I'm going to turn my stitch one time. Okay, now I'm ready to sew. Remember, I'm holding this up just so it's going to go along the guide. I'm not pulling it. Okay, I'm not pulling it at all. Okay, same thing, I'm going to lock that stitch off. Alright, and so now we look at that. That's the edge, and that's that.